Welcome to a muzzled chat. I love you guys. Thank you so much for the comments, the support. I keep getting like personal messages and DMs and things of that nature. By the way, it would be more beneficial to see these comments coming in and reactions and responses posted in the community more so than directed to me privately. That's how we're going to kick each other off in creating more momentum together as a community, as a whole, as a collective than individual. I appreciate it nonetheless, but I hope you can see the value that would add posting your reactions in the comment sections on Rumble than me personally. And yes, it fuels me up. The few I'm seeming to have positive impact on, it's not even me. All glory to God. I'm just trying to uplift and support and sound the alarm to the betterment of all my brothers and sisters around me in the world today. That's our goal. That's our mission. That's what we're here for. And I'm working myself to the bone to provide whatever I'm able to my limited abilities. It's wild because evil is effectively attacking us from so many different angles. We are undoubtedly at war. This is 5th generation warfare. We're unfamiliarized with it. And so many, even saying that, it's like their eyes glaze over, their ears numb out, sure. And they just get back to I hate to say it, but their selfish lives. With the level of attacks taking place, we can't afford to bury our heads in the sand and be ignorant anymore. It's beyond leading us to shackles in slavery, an infringement on our God-given rights and constitutional rights and the very destruction of our country. They're literally becoming effective on controlling the masses and dumbing us down. The glazing over is proof of that. It's so wild. I was talking to a friend the other day that complimented even playing that clip on TikTok. Was that one that was censored? Because I already queued up another one that talks about the censoring, which is so freaking dangerous. The few clearly, their greatest concern, their greatest fear is that the masses wake up before they're effectively dumbed down. They got backup plans queued up even. So there's a very strategic way of going about everything to effectively destroy this two-tiered system once and for all. But it takes acknowledging what's going on, coming up with solutions, and a lot of getting even to that point is undoing a lot of the deterioration they've effectively done through foods, water, polluting our air, polluting the vaccine schedule, polluting our environments with frequencies. There are thousands of educated individuals, accredited individuals that have written and studied these frequencies, and it is devastating to our human body on a cellular level. It's no secret. This information is over freaking whelming. And you know what? As I was at the doctor, I need to settle down because I start slurring words even more and tripping up, it seems, as I get all amped up. But I'm freaking so amped. I want to get people in the know so we can become the freaking solutions to our issues. But even as I was in my doctor's appointment today and we were checking the mold toxicities, yes, some of that has gone down now. Thank God to the treatments I've been on and the binders and the IVs. It's been so expensive. This has been so crazy, but God is so good because somehow I'm making ends meet. However, side note, I've drained the account to a point. We'll touch on that in a minute. But as I'm sitting there in the doctor's office, my immune system is tapped and struggling. That is a precursor and dangerous grounds for everything. Now my viral load and infections is going down. I do believe the deteriorated state of my immune system to be attributed to the frequencies and everything that's taken place as I'm connecting the dots. Because by no means with everything we're doing, my immune system should be suppressed the way it is. It's important that we connect these dots. It's crucial that we connect the dots so we could actually hone in on what is diminishing our state and what is going to lead to breakthrough and gaining full function. Now, this isn't all about me, folks, because this has to do with, I believe, our environment and these frequencies in the air and other things as well that are diminishing and making it harder for my body to recover, even as we're feeding all this the right solutions. I know to be a clear path to wellness with what is ailing me. So I can say with certainty that we are all diminished. I'm so grateful that there's solutions being provided that could give us the layers of protection we need against these frequencies, but not everyone is going to be able to obtain this. So futuristically speaking, the real solution is to eradicate these harmful things across the board. So we're going to do more deep dives, other individuals that bring out other factual information and documentation. One lady here is extremely impressive on what she uncovers regarding some NASA documents. Nothing conspiratorial about it. And it's wild because it's completely paralleling the Georgia Guidestones and paralleling all these other projections from other, let's just say, arenas that they're engaged in. It's the same mission. And it blows my mind that they are projecting what they are freaking doing, yet we aren't grasping it and seeing it for what it is and the grave threat it is. Why? Oh my gosh. There's hope. We got this together. It takes a village. The village is dealing with drought. Is it one individual going to shoulder that burden? People are going hungry. One other individual is going to shoulder that burden? No. It takes the village to get to the root of those issues and thrive and create a booming, blissful utopia. But we got to rule out the corruption ultimately to get there. But we can support each other along the way. And we're to fear not. We start relying more on God. I know we'll all be led to the individual breakthroughs we so desperately need that will lead to the bigger solutions on the world stage. It's what's happened for me, and that's what I've seen through so many. They attribute the same. If you haven't checked out Centropics yet and how we can protect ourselves from these frequencies, check the description, click around. Now, I didn't really dive into the details of it, man. I'll queue it up. You know what? We'll have an episode here with the experts on soon, or one's far more in the know than me, and we'll go over the prices and everything like that. I didn't mean to withhold any of that information from you. In fact, it is listed in the link, so you could check all that out. I want to be as transparent as I can. I mean, offhand, it's like $3-something thousand for the large PEMA mat, but you can get that one and this mini for I believe $5,000, and then I can't remember what the bubble nor the cocoon cost, but I know there's a whole package deal with all of them, just over $9,000. Who really has that laying around? I know. I mean, some people do, but this technology is revolutionary. But I know for me, to get that zero APR, throw it on there, get those protections, up my resilience, it's going to pay back 100-fold. And I know I'll more effectively become parts of the solution on the bigger stage too, which it's just crucial. Like, what is money? What does money even matter if we just idly sit by and allow ourselves to get effectively dumbed down to where we just can't even do anything anymore? Is it getting that bad? Absolutely it is. We got proof. We're going to bring the receipts. Okay, so to touch back on one last thing before moving on, I have felt the financial strains of this venture, and I do feel called to help a couple individuals in my life with some projects. So it's going to pull me away from this to an extent. I'm still going to do my best to come out with as much as I can, but until this becomes more financially viable, at least the pressures get lifted off of, the responsibilities I have, just to put food in my system, keep the lights on, a roof over my head, but also the very expensive protocols I'm on. I mean, it would be awesome to devote I'm so passionate about this. I would devote every second of my day to this if I was able. And I feel like I've been blessed in a huge way to put such vast amounts of time to it. But it kind of has hit a point where I do need to set aside time and try to bring some money in through other means. Now, if you're feeling charitable and you want to fund and bless me in this platform to put more time in, we got all those links. And in supporting our sponsors, which, yeah, we're setting all this up for communal benefit to bless this platform, but bless you and also bless companies that are providing solutions to our issues as well. It's just a win-win all around. So for anyone to think we're creating these affiliations just solely for financial gain, you are gravely mistaken. If in fact I find out any of these affiliations aren't quite as beneficial, or let's just put it this way, we find other solutions that are more beneficial, we will drop these affiliations and focus on the ones that are more beneficial. That is our sole purpose. We want to hone in on what is going to be most beneficial to the masses and on individual levels. Help us vet everything and get there. But I just truly feel so blessed. Just not all coincidence how certain connections have been made. And I am super optimistic and excited to see all the breakthroughs I know we could have through the products we've already connected with. All right, so that being said, let's dive in. I keep getting censored on other platforms. So once again on TikTok. And it's just so freaking dangerous, folks. We lose the ability to free speech and obtaining information. Like the tyrannical has full control. Like we're so screwed. At the point our First Amendment is fully infringed upon, that's why we have the Second Amendment in place. I pray it doesn't get to that point. But with the banning of TikTok, we'll see what plays out. It potentially gives our tyrannical government the ability to potentially shut down Rumble, Truth Social, X, all these free speech platforms. And if that ends up being the case, boy, we best be ready to do something about that. We cannot accept that. Okay, let's play this clip. It's freaking weird. I'm not going to lie. I can't stand my voice, and I get no pleasure being in like the public eye, in publicity. Frankly, I'd rather not be on any of this, as I've stated before, but I can see how effective evil has been with this digital age, and we must fight fire with fire. So just trying to attribute whatever slight gifts and connections I can make and add to the momentum. Welcome to a muzzled chat. Freaking TikTok. I gotta watch what I say here. Can I just upload episodes in silence? Is that gonna trend? This is so extremely dangerous.
Yes, it is.
They keep flagging our content. This is our second account. They even banned our second account. We appealed it. They reinstated it, to my surprise. But we just softly connected some dots, and they took that down under misinformation. Do you understand how dangerous that is? It's what they dictate. They control the narrative, whatever they choose. I could bring the receipts. I know factually I would win in a court of law. Yeah. I know that. It's simple. There's information they don't want you to know. So you. Okay, maybe I shouldn't even have played that because it's just so repetitive, right? But content keeps getting taken down under so many different lenses. Hateful ideology, or this last one was misinformation. And it's incredible because I could bring the receipts and I know I would win in a court of law. but it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. When there's tyrannical rule, they dictate, they decide, and it's their platform. It is crucial we band together and support the platforms that support free speech and our First Amendment rights. Rumble is such a blessing. Now, I get if you're listening on all these other podcast apps are such a blessing too, because as of this far, it doesn't seem like anything's getting taken down. So that's amazing. And if you find that a different app is what is in fact more user-friendly for you, that's fantastic. Just be sure to support us on Rumble as well. And if things just stop uploading on whatever app you're using, just know you can verify whether or not it's censorship by seeing if other uploads are continually happening on Rumble. So I just want to gear everyone up for that. It's so important we source our info, and too many of us, it's just so wild as we go about our days. So many of us haven't connected those dots. It blows my mind. Give this a listen. Good job, Elon.
My feed.
That's a false.
No, what I claimed.
You just lied.
What? No, what I claimed was.
Then I say, sir, that you don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
Really?
Who's to say that something is misinformation? Who's the arbiter of that?
Good question.
Is it the BBC?
You literally asking me?
Yes.
Well, no, you
Who
are
is the arbiter?
You are the arbiter on Twitter because you own Twitter.
Yes, I'm saying who is to say that one person's misinformation is another person's information?
Right.
The point at which you said that there is this is misinformation. Like, who is going to decide that?
You accept that misinformation can be dangerous, that it can cause real-world harms, that it can potentially cause.
Yes, and the point I'm trying to make is that the BBC itself has, at times, published things that are false. Do you agree that that has occurred?
I'm quite sure the BBC have said things before that turn out to not be true.
Correct.
In its, whatever it is, 100-year
100-year history. See how they're trying to manipulate? They have recently gotten things egregiously wrong regarding masks, the shots, the lockdowns, everything. The Hunter laptop, Russia gate. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. They're part of the war machine, the empire of lies, manipulating and gaslighting the masses, and there's zero accountability. It's freaking clowns like this. I love it when they get destroyed just to expose the shills they are. They're owned organizations. It isn't a free press in news. It's propaganda. That's all it is. Because they're owned.
history, I'm quite sure.
Yes. Even if you aspire to be accurate, there are times when you will not be.
We've spoken to people very recently who were involved in moderation, and they just say there's not enough people to police this stuff, particularly around hate speech.
Oh my gosh. Did you just say that? We do not need policing. Oh my, it gets better.
In the company. Is that
what hate speech are you talking about? I mean, you use Twitter.
Right.
Do you see a rise in hate speech?
I mean,
but just a personal anecdote, like what do you? I don't.
Personally, for you, I would see I get more of that kind of content, yeah, personally. But I'm not going to talk to the rest of for the rest of Twitter.
You see more hate speech personally.
I would see more hateful content in that.
Content you don't like or hateful. What do you mean to describe a hateful thing?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, just content that will solicit a reaction, something that may include something that is slightly racist or slightly sexist, those kinds of things.
So you think if something is slightly sexist, it should be banned?
No,
is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying anything. I'm
just curious. I'm trying to understand what you mean by hateful content.
Yes.
And I'm asking for specific examples. And you just said that if something is slightly sexist, that's hateful content. Does that mean that it should be banned?
Well, you've asked me whether my feed, whether it's got less or more. I'd say it's got slightly more.
That's why I'm asking for examples. Can you name one example?
I honestly don't use. Honestly, I
You
don't.
can't name a single example.
I'll tell you why, because I don't actually use that for you feed anymore, because I just don't particularly like it.
You
And
said
actually,
you-
a lot of people are quite similar. I only look at
hang
my,
on a second.
my
You said you've seen
following.
more hateful content, but you can't name a single example, not even one.
I'm
Right.
not sure I've used that feed for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and
Well, then how did you see the hateful content?
Right.
Because I've been using Twitter since you've taken it over for the last 6 months.
Okay, so then you must have at some point seen for you hateful content.
Right.
I'm asking for one example.
Right.
And you can't give a single one.
And I'm saying
I say, sir, that you don't know what you're talking about.
really.
Yes.
Yes, because you
Yes,
can't give
really.
a single example of hateful content, not even one tweet. And yet you claimed that the hateful content was high.
Zero foundation.
That's a false.
No,
That's a
what I
false.
claimed,
You just lied.
What I
Yes,
claimed
you
was
did.
there are many organizations that say that kind of information is on the rise. Now, whether it has on my
Give me
feed
one
or
example.
not,
Give me one
I mean,
example.
right, and
Literally
if you
can't
look at
name
something
one.
like the Strategic Dialogue Institute in the UK, they will say that. So
Look, people will say all sorts of nonsense. I'm
Right.
literally asking for a
Right.
single example, and you can't name one.
right, and as I've already said, I don't use that feed. But
Well, then how would you know that?
I don't think this is
Yeah,
getting
then how do
You
you
anywhere.
know?
literally said you experienced more hateful content, and then couldn't name a single example.
Right, and as I said,
That's absurd.
I haven't
Yes,
actually
it's
looked at that feed.
Then how would you know this hateful
content?
content?
Yes.
Because I'm saying that's what I saw a few weeks ago. I can't give you an exact example. Let's move on. We only have.
Yeah,
a certain
let's
amount of
move
time.
on. I'm embarrassed. I got
COVID
destroyed.
misinformation.
Amazing.
You've changed the COVID misinformation.
Has BBC
Good.
changed its COVID misinformation?
The BBC does not set the rules on Twitter, so I'm asking you.
No, I'm
But
talking
you
about
report.
the BBC's misinformation about
Right.
COVID.
Misinformation about COVID. Right. Ooh.
I'm just
Stumped.
asking you about, you changed the labels, the COVID misinformation labels. They used
So
to be a policy, and then disappeared. Why do that?
It's not a problem.
Well, COVID is no longer an issue.
Right.
Does the BBC hold itself at all responsible for misinformation regarding masking and
Dude needs a new diaper. He is out of his element here. This is freaking hilarious. But can you see? He's trying to entrap even Elon. Like, you've changed the misinformation guideline standards that Twitter used to have to allow free speech. And it's good on you, Elon. Now, I don't know. He's just a man. Is he going to have his fallacies? Absolutely. But what he has done in the liberation of X, formerly Twitter, has been such a blessing. It's opened the eyes of so many. It's brought them into truth and this awakening. It's so important.
side effects of vaccinations and not reporting on that at all? And what about the fact that
Right.
the BBC was put under pressure by the British government to change its editorial policy? Are you aware of that?
This is not an interview about the BBC.
Oh, you
so-
thought it wasn't?
So good.
I see now why you've done Twitter Spaces. I am not a representative of the BBC's editorial
Right,
policy. I
right.
want to make that clear.
Freaking douchebag. How are these individuals? I mean, it's not even about these individuals anymore. Like, it's the whole organizations. How are these organizations even a thing? We got to stop tuning into the empire of lies. Any rational mind with critical thinking skills, with what we just went through, watches this very interview, should be able to assess, like, oh, wow, X clearly is a better source of information than any BBC products ever at this point in time. All right, so Deborah Tavares, I hope I didn't butcher that. Just like the Matrix, want to take the blue pill or the red pill? It's the red pill, folks. This clip, incredible exposure to the infrastructure, the projections, their plans. They've written them out. There's nothing conspiratorial about it. You could even go to the NASA and look at these documents for yourself. I imagine it's going to take a huge level of deep dive. However, actually on her webpage and everything created, they provide the links. So you have access to all this information. This exposes indisputably the 5th generation war tactics that are taking place and that have been taking place for some time now. It is so important we acknowledge this and see these threats and render them ineffective. Let's get ramped up. Let's get excited to seize the day, improve things. We could be grateful for all this opportunity we have to bring in health and shift the tide and not allow the rulers to rule over us anymore. All right, let's dive in. This is incredible. I speak a bit slow. Let's do the 1.75. Give this a try. Please make this video viral. I agree. No doubt nobody will do a thing about stopping this. Do we die without not even trying to stop them? ? Do we deserve to die if there is no fight in us? Has evil effectively taken that fight out of us? Can we really ponder that question? At the point anyone can't even handle these conversations anymore, that's where now I'm resorting to. Has evil effectively diminished your resilience and your abilities and your function that there's no more fight left in you? That's essentially where I'm going to go when someone's like, well, what difference am I going to make? Or, oh, I just can't handle politics. It's like, well, then change your lens. We don't have to view it as the politics. We could just view it as we, the people, uniting under our constitutional rights, seizing the day, and ensuring that this country goes in the direction that is most beneficial to us and our families. Period. The end. And whatever it takes.
This is Trevor Coppola for Anthony J. Hilder. I'm with Deborah Tavares, and we're going to discuss a few topics here.
Thank you so much for the interview. I appreciate the opportunity. One of the things that we want to talk about is what we were discussing a little bit ago, and that is the significance of this NASA War document that was found on the NASA website, and the need to urgently get this out in front of as many people as possible because of the content of this document.
So was this document available to everyone, or this was on their actual website and someone found it?
That is correct. It was on the NASA website, and it was a document that actually is a PowerPoint presentation by Dennis Bushnell, the chief NASA scientist at the Langley Center. And it was presented in 2001, July of 2001, just a few months before 9/11. And what brought my attention to it and immediately rang some uncomfortable realizations was when we first came across it. It says on the website, future strategic issues, future warfare circa 2025. And as I decided to just flip through it quickly to see what it was about, I was a little stunned on page 4. It said, the presentation is based in all cases upon existing data, trends, analysis technologies, no pixie dust. And the entire premise of the document, or the PowerPoint, is about robots, cyborgs, and humans. So I immediately saw a conflict between future and now. And I thought, what are they covering up? Because that was a definite cover-up. And then I started to continue looking through the document with shock. And that's why we're talking.
Now you must hear this out in its entirety. And I know this segment is a bit lengthy. In fact, it's over 30 minutes long. But it is so important and heavy hitting. And it goes over so much. I can't take any of it out. And I need to ensure we actually hear this and look into it and share far and wide. Minimally, that is doing our part in the most minuscule sense. It is crucial that we forward content like this on to the best of our abilities. Let that be our singular call to action for the day. Bless you for supporting us, hearing us out, and being a part of the solutions.
Talking right now, because I think most people would be shocked to find on page 93.
So who wrote this NASA document, and was this intentional? Did they want the public to see this, do you think? Or?
Well, again, the Illuminati, the most wealthy, rich men on the face of the planet, always telegraph everything that they're going to do. So the fact that it was on the NASA website, it was certainly available to the public, but did they see it? Obviously not. Because had they looked at this document, you would know about it right now. And we don't. And that's the purpose of this discussion, is for people to know about this document. Again, the conflict between the future and the fact that they said it was a current reality in 2001 of July when this was actually presented. And what it said, which was quite shocking, on page 93, it said, capture, torture Americans in living color on prime time. Wow. And that is an unbelievable statement. Then it's followed up by saying terror attacks within the continental United States using binary, biologicals, take down critical infrastructure. They are going to use an EMP, which is an electromagnetic pulse. They're going to use radiation frequencies against our brains, etc.
Folks, the EMP threat is no joke. If you haven't already gotten an EMP device for your home, minimally get one for your vehicle. At least one family member needs a vehicle with one of these devices to keep it operational. It could save countless lives. EMP Shield's link is in the description below as well. And for all of Unmuzzled Chat listeners, you get $50 off every single item you purchase through them. They have such an influx of orders going through right now. They are backlogged a bit. And I know they've brought in a lot more staffing, and they're doing everything they can to get products out as quickly as possible to individuals. But it's crucial you order this sooner versus later. As far as preparation's concerned, this singularly is the best stinking investment I have made to date. Dollar for dollar. There'll be other preparations and discounts coming soon. Don't wait any longer. Check out their products now. The threat is no joke.
And conduct serious cyber and collateral damage and exploitation. On the same page 93, they say exploit CNN syndrome. Now, CNN, of course, is the network, the news media network, propaganda machine, and was set up by the CIA. You can watch the movie called Cywar on stopthecrime.net for all the background information on CNN. Very, very interesting information. Then you go on and you read that on page 66, they say increasingly critical are human limitations and human downsides. Humans are too large, humans are too heavy, too tender, humans are too slow, both physically and mentally, and we require huge logistical train.
Well, here we are. Is what it is. It's not something ideally to do, but it must be done. Because the reality of this platform, Unmuzzled Chat, we are not going to conform and fall in line and be cowards to tyrannical platforms. So I'm so sorry to disrupt this episode. This is specifically for the YouTube crowd. An opportunity. We'd like to extend an invitation yet again to Rumble, a free speech platform. Come join us. We don't care your political views. We don't care your origins, all that freaking stats or whatever you want to freaking call it. Come join us. Have the conversations. View this episode and all further content in its entirety. There are bombshell episodes, like probably this one. You need to check this one and others out on Rumble. It's no secret. YouTube now has shown its colors. Freaking Nazi platform trying to control information, withhold information that could save lives. 100%. They don't care about you. They care about their funders and appeasing them. It's sad, but it just is the way it is. And I just sure hope through what I've even dealt with here and many other patriots and many other people using this platform for truthful information and have been censored. It's just, when is enough? Okay? Let's stand strong now. Come join us. There's amazing content. We're going to get to the bottom of things. We want to find out what in fact is truthful and helpful for our mental states, our physical states, just our well-being in general. And we can't do it on this platform, unfortunately. Now, there's been whispers that maybe Elon will buy the YouTube, buy Facebook, and liberate it, similar to what has taken place on X, formerly known as Twitter. Is it perfect? Is everything perfect? No. But we, the people, can support the ones on our behalf, like just by our views, clicks, likes, and we must stand strong on this. I sure hope you see the level of importance here and that we can unite. Let's create this community. Join us. Come on the podcast. Comment. Let's get things rocking and rolling. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you over there. God bless you.